Reported by the Guardian news website, Vladimir Putin has defended Russia's invasion of Ukraine and sought to rally leaders of the Brics nations meeting in South Africa to the Kremlin side. Putin repeated in a pre-recorded video message aired on Tuesday to the leaders of Brazil, India, China, and South Africa his earlier unfounded claims that the West was responsible for the war in Ukraine. Putin said, referring to the eastern part of Ukraine where Russian proxies have been fighting the Ukrainian army since 2014, that quote-unquote, our actions in Ukraine are dictated by only one thing, to end the war that was unleashed by the West and its satellites against the people who live in the Donbass. I want to note that it was the desire to maintain their hegemony in the world, the desire of some countries to maintain their hegemony, that led to the severe crisis in Ukraine. Putin was the only leader of the five-nation Brics summit not to attend in person and spoke instead by video because he faces an arrest warrant for war crimes issued by the International Criminal Court, ICC. In the run-up to the summit, South Africa, which was party to the treaty that created the ICC and would have been obliged to arrest Putin if had traveled there, had asked the Russian leader to stay away. The Russian president also accused the West of sabotaging the Black Sea grain deal that his country exited last month. The grain deal proved key for stabilizing global food price, a topic of serious concern to many developing countries, including those in the bloc. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who earlier in the summer presented Putin with an African peace plan to end the war in Ukraine, said in response to the Russian president's speech that Brics members would continue to support efforts to bring the conflict to an end. Ramaphosa also called for the resumption of the grain deal. The Brics countries represent about 40% of the world's population and a quarter of global GDP. But the group is considering expansion. Leaders from more than 40 countries, largely from Africa and elsewhere in the global south, flew in for the three-day summit in Johannesburg, alongside Brazil's Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, China's Xi Jinping, and Narendra Modi of India. According to the South African organizers, many of those countries have expressed interest in joining, though there had been divisions among the Brics leaders over how many and how quickly. South Africa's Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor on Wednesday said an agreement had been made on expansion and a more detailed announcement would follow before the end of the summit. I am Lovely Montoya of Manila STV.